Let's get back to politics. Secretary John Kerry, in his speech laying out the Obama administration's vision for the Middle East, said Israel cannot be both Jewish and democratic. Just listen to this. Roll tape.
There are a similar number of Jews and Palestinians living between the Jordan River and the Mediterranean Sea. They have a choice. They can choose to live together in one state, or they can separate into two states. But here is a fundamental reality. If the choice is one state, Israel can either be Jewish or democratic. It cannot be both.
All right, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu responding. Take a listen.
I must express my deep disappointment with the speech today of John Kerry, a speech that was almost as unbalanced as the anti-Israel resolution passed at the UN last week. In a speech ostensibly about peace between Israelis and Palestinians, Secretary Kerry paid lip service to the unremitting campaign of terrorism that has been waged by the Palestinians against the Jewish state for nearly a century.
All right, joining us now to talk about this, Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters. Thank you so much, as always. Ralph, how would you describe Mr. Obama's approach to the Middle East? We said, what did we say, 6 words?
Well, I think 6 words captures it. Praise Muslims, ignore Christians, blame Jews. That really is what we have seen. I give Obama credit for consistency. Since his infamous Cairo speech at the beginning of his first administration, through this post-2016 election barrage of attacks on Israel, he's been very consistent. And I think, actually, to understand the president, you really have to look at his background, which people just refuse to do. He came most of his life, literally from the cradle up, with a hard-left milieu in which it's an article of faith, a fundamental dogma, that Israel's a capitalist oppressor and the Palestinians are noble freedom fighters. And then you have his time with the Reverend Wright. In the Reverend Wright's church, and that segment of the left, it's virulently anti-Semitic. So I think what you have seen now is the administration's true colors fully unveiled at last. With the 2016 election over, Obama can say what he really wanted to say all these years, and it is a disgrace, it is a betrayal, and it is certainly not sound policy.
You also said, Ralph, that the prospect of a peace deal based on a 2-state solution in his mind was in jeopardy. But then we had former ambassador to the UN, John Bolton, who said there should be a 3-state solution between Israel, Jordan, and Egypt. Listen to that.
The delusion of a 2-state solution is never going to make life better. What I've called for is a 3-state solution. Give the Gaza Strip back to Egypt. Give whatever part of the West Bank Israel's prepared to give up back to Jordan. Tie the Palestinian people into real economies. Give them a chance for their families to enjoy a better life.
It seems very sensible, but what do you think, Ralph? Would you agree with that solution?
Well, I certainly have enormous respect for Ambassador Bolton. On this issue, we disagree. Simply because if you put the West Bank as part of Jordan, Palestinians become a majority in Jordan. Jordan's already threatened, its stability is primarily threatened by all of the Palestinians, in quotes, refugees that have been there for a very long time. As far as the radicals in the Gaza Strip, Israel doesn't want them. So you have a situation where a 3-state solution only works if Jordan and Egypt want to play, and they absolutely don't. The fact is that the Palestinians have had one chance for peace after another, 1948, 56, 67, 73, time and again thereafter, and it has never been Israel that has prevented peace. It has been Palestinian intransigence. And actually, we need to keep this in perspective. I don't approve of everything Israel does. I don't approve of everything the United States does. But Israel is an island of civilization, of our civilization, surrounded by brutal states and barbarous societies. Only Israel has women's rights, the rule of law, property rights, serious education, civil societies, prosperity. And for all the oil money that's poured into the Middle East, you have a vast wasteland beyond Israel's borders. Stand up on a hilltop, a mountaintop in northern Israel. You can tell where the Arab world begins because the green turns brown. And so Israel has earned its keep, and the haters, the Israel haters on the far left, are utterly out of touch with humanity and decency.
Very quickly, 20 seconds, Ralph. With Benjamin Netanyahu in place, is there any chance of peace based on what he is willing to do? It seems to me there's just no common ground right now.
Well, I think there's a fundamental difference here. Prime Minister Netanyahu realizes that his primary function is to defend Israel. Would that President Obama realize his primary function is to defend the United States? But no, look, Americans always think there's going to be a magic solution if only we can find it. In the Middle East, I'm afraid, Ashley, the best you're going to get is continued muddling through.
Yeah, which is what we've seen for some time. Colonel Ralph Peters, as always, great stuff. Thank you very much.